Hi Beauty Pies, in today's video I will be trying on and reviewing the Huda Beauty Fauxfilter Foundation. First I will try on the foundation on my bare skin so you can see the density and the coverage. Then I will go over a list of important details I found out about this foundation that I think you should know before you make a purchase. Also, I'm starting with a clean face. I put on moisturizer and I did my eyebrows. Next, I'm going to add a nourishing hydrating primer. This is by Ciate London Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. You only need one pump of this foundation for full coverage. I'm using the color 420G. I pumped it onto that one section and then it ran down the glass within a few seconds. So it's a pretty runny foundation. I'm just going to start on one side. I'm using the Morphe E8 brush. I'm going to take the remainder of the foundation on the glass. I'm just going to finish off this side. So I used every last bit of the one pump of foundation. The color is not quite right for me, but this is the closest match. I have not used a foundation that has this much coverage in just a small amount of foundation. The Huda Beauty website gives this foundation a 4.8 out of 5 stars. That is from 657 reviews, and the Sephora website gave it 3.6 stars out of 5, and there are over 3,500 reviews. Going through reviews for a foundation is usually my first step to see whether or not I might like the foundation or not, so I highly suggest you go through it. You'll definitely see a theme. Okay, so now I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and jump into the details of this foundation. So I went ahead and did the rest of my makeup, and you can see that the color has balanced out. I also felt that everything blended into the foundation very easily. I used the NARS Creamy Concealer, which is one of my tried and true concealers. Same thing with the Cream Bronzer by Fenty Beauty. I used the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder to set my under eyes and my T-zone area, and then the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish to set the rest of my face. So I didn't really put on much powder as far as my whole face is concerned, and I still just really have a beautiful matte finish. You don't need to set this foundation with powder. It doesn't need it. And it retails for $40. Foundation comes in a bottle with a pump. I'm not sure what type of packaging this is. It doesn't feel like glass, but it looks almost as luxurious as glass, but it also doesn't look as cheap as plastic, but it's so lightweight. It comes with a pump that's easy to use. All you need is one pump of this foundation for a full coverage look. I'd like to know what the brand intended for this foundation to be used for. It gives us the right product for what we need, and it also represents the product properly. So if you want full coverage but your foundation is a light coverage foundation, then it's not fair to say that the foundation was bad, right? Because it's not meant to be a full coverage foundation. This is meant to be a full coverage foundation. Main mission, I guess we can say, of this foundation is to blend seamlessly with skin and to dry to a radiant matte powder finish that looks luminous. Next thing I like to know is, are there any ingredients in the product that are good for your skin? As I get older, that is an important factor in whether or not I decide to continue using a foundation. This foundation is enriched with argan oil and centella asiatica, both known for their hydrating properties. This fade-proof formula blends seamlessly into the skin, simultaneously working to improve skin texture. But I do think that the argan oil can cause breakouts. Argan oil is a very hydrating, moisturizing oil, but it is not non-comedogenic and it can clog your pores. So if you use it too often, most likely it can cause breakouts. This has a very strong scent. A lot of people attribute the scent to what's causing them to break out, because it is kind of surprising to have like a strong perfume scent in a foundation because you're used to wearing perfume for that. I think that even psychologically that could be a downside, because we know that our skin is sensitive and we want to put like pure ingredients on our skin, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're putting like perfume on your face. But my skin does not feel irritated at all, so that's the fact. I've also been using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder, which is also very strongly scented. It's a good scent, but it's a strong scent. I've been using that at least for 2-3 months now, and it doesn't clog my pores and it doesn't break me out. Okay, in terms of level of coverage, that is where this foundation really stands out. I've never experienced anything like this, where you have such a soft, smooth, lightweight formula that is so full coverage in such a small amount. Count on Faux Filter to give you flawless full coverage with just one pump, or you can blend it together with a Huda Beauty primer for an even more natural finish. So you can use this as a medium coverage foundation if you blend it in with the primer as they suggest. You could also just put on a lot of moisturizer and then use less of the formula, blend it out with your hands. I feel like you'll have kind of the same effect. Huda Beauty has a chart with different individuals wearing the shades, so it's a lot easier to match yourself up, but still doesn't change the fact that it's only 30 colors. I usually don't even look into a foundation if it doesn't have at least 40 colors, because it's not likely that I'm going to find a color match. I was surprised though at how well it all came together with the rest of the makeup I wore on my face, but this is definitely not something I would wear alone. Next thing I like to know are things like, is it non-comedogenic, oil-free, fragrance-free, stuff like that. From what I read into the website, it's none of the above. It's not non-comedogenic, it's not fragrance-free, it's not oil-free, so there is a potential that this may break you out. But in all fairness, I don't think a foundation, a full coverage foundation, is meant to be used on a daily basis. I do like the idea that there's full coverage available when I want to really glam up, and then there's light coverage available when I don't care for as much coverage. So as far as the skin type it's good for, it doesn't say that it's best for oily or dry or all skin types. There is a quote on the website by Huda. It says that although this dries to a radiant powder finish if you have oily skin, setting it with a thin layer of powder gives the most incredible, flawless, all-day matte look. That tells me this is really ideal for someone with oily skin. And last but not least, dupes or comparisons. This foundation has been considered a dupe for the Maybelline Superstay foundation. I did a review and a try-on with this foundation as well, and I'll link that above here. I do have similar opinions about both of these foundations, so I can really see how this would be a dupe for this formula. It is lightweight, it is full coverage. A small amount of this foundation will give you a lot of coverage, and it's got the same downside in that there is not a good selection of colors, and so this color is always a bit off. This runs for $12 at drugstores. It's 1 ounce. This is 1 ounce for $40. Also coming soon is a foundation review for the new foundation by Selena Gomez, Rare Beauty. I just have to get the foundation in my color, and as soon as I do that, I plan to do a try on and review of that foundation as well. So that is coming soon, so stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and that you hit the notification bell for new videos so that you're alerted when I post them. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.